NEP orientation program on the theme Indian Knowledge System. As you know, this is a welcome step of the Government of India now that we are reviving our connects with the Indian knowledge system. And it's gratifying, I must say. I find it very gratifying that the MMCs have been put at the center of taking the benefits of NEP, including Indian knowledge system, to teachers across the country. Our aim is to touch upon 15 lakh teachers, and our aim is to completely transform higher education on the lines of the new education policy. In the past also, we have been doing several programs that have been giving us exposure to the new education policy. Last year, we did 12 workshops, 4 webinars, and we have made training and orientation on new education policy as an integral part of our faculty induction programs. But what we are doing now as part of these NEP 2020 orientation programs, these specially designed 8 days orientation programs, what we are doing now is that we are very ambitiously with special efforts and with special emphasis, trying to bring all the teachers on board the NEP-based higher education transformation. Please give me an opportunity and please join hands with me in welcoming Professor Sajid Jamal Saab today here as my resource person, and Professor Sajid Saab is the academic coordinator of our NEP program, along with the NEP cell here at AMU between the UGC, HRDC, and the university. He's from the Department of Education, very well traveled, very well spoken, and somebody very, very dedicated to education. So I'm so glad for all his help as the coordinator of our NEP program, NEP academic program, and as resource person here today for an introduction today. Sajid Bhai, you will be speaking on IKS as in the NEP.
Definitely.
So Sajid Bhai, I take this opportunity to acknowledge your sincere efforts and your hard work in making this program successful, in bringing on board so many other resource persons who are going to be very, very beneficial for this program. So my dear participants, happy learning. We are up for learning something new. We are up for learning something very positive that will infuse us with energy, because when it comes to indigenous and local and vernacular, and when it comes to our own heritage, it gives us a different kind of sense of belonging and motivates us in a different manner, in a manner that no other knowledge system can. So welcome to this 8 days course on NEP 2020. I once again welcome and thank from the bottom of my heart the very efficient, the very energetic Professor Sajid Jamal. And because of him, I have strong hopes that this program will be very successful for our participants. And in the long run, the overall aim of new educational policy, transformative measures will be met. So happy learning, and we will be right here for the next 8 days. Welcome to the UGC MMTTC of the Aligarh Muslim University. Welcome to your NEP 2020 orientation program on Indian knowledge system. It's over to Professor Sajid Jamal, and I'm sure you are going to have a very good time with him. Please, Sajid.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am, for such a generous introduction. As you mentioned, ma'am, in fact, I have put a lot of hard work in framing the whole program, and I'm sure it will be beneficial for our fellow teachers. As you mentioned, ma'am, definitely there are so many things which are new, and I have tried to have such resource person in my program, which might be very good speaker, who themselves are very good teacher, and they teach with patience, in fact. So I'm quite sure, in fact, it will be beneficial for our participants. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. So as ma'am mentioned, in fact, our name has been changed from HRDC to MMTC, that is the Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center. And I think this is the first program under the changed name, that is MMTC. And I'm very fortunate that Director Ma'am has given me the chance that I'm delivering the first session under the changed name of HRDC. So the very first session, as I have just mentioned, it will be related with NEP and IKS. So first, I am putting before you people very preliminary things related to why IKS is important, or what's the importance of IKS, or what's the relevance of IKS. And before that, I mean, first I will present some important points related to NEP 2020, and then I will try to correlate how IKS and NEP 2020 are related with each other. So the moment my session will be finished, then the second session will start at 6, hopefully. And then one of my very worthy colleague, Dr. Anjum, she will come, and then she will be focusing on a broad overview of IKS. So let's begin, my friends, and let me share the screen. Yeah. So can you see the screen, my friends?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Sure.
Please mute.
Yes,
Please mute
yes,
yourself.
yes.
Okay. Please mute yourself. So to begin with, as I mentioned, my topic is NEP 2020 and IKS, that is Indian Knowledge System. So to begin with, in fact, there is one statement that I have taken from NEP 2020. And in my opinion, in fact, this statement makes this NEP 2020 different from the others, national policies on education, which were framed in the country earlier. So I would like to request any one of the participants to please read the slide. Any one of you, please read it. My friends?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please read it loudly.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please read it. Please read it.
Shall I read out, sir?
Yes, sure.
Yes, sir. The vision of the policy is to instill among the learners a deep-rooted pride in being Indian, not only in thought, but also in spirit, intellect, and as well as to develop knowledge, skills, values, and dispositions that support responsible commitment to human rights, sustainable development, and living and global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizen.
Thank you, my friends. Who are you, sir?
I am Dr. Hanumant Autade from Maharashtra, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you for reading so elaborately. So, in
Thank
fact,
you, sir.
Yes, as I mentioned, in fact, this particular statement of NEP 2020 makes it different from the other national education policies which were framed in the country earlier. So this policy basically wants, the vision of this policy is that it wants to inculcate among the learners a deep-rooted pride in being Indian. And of course, you can't have a pride, or you can't feel pride in being an Indian unless and until you will be knowing your own system. I mean, political system, social system, our culture, and of course, our knowledge system as well. So Indian knowledge system is one of the oldest system in the world. And of course, our education system also is one of the oldest in the world. So what contributions have been? I mean, we have given so many things to the world, be it in the field of music, be it in the field of astronomy, be it in the field of mathematics, be it in the field of science, be it in the field of surgery. I mean, so many things we have given to the world. So most of the things we know, but most of the things we don't know. So this policy, what it wants, to create a deep-rooted pride in being Indian, not only in thought, but also in spirit, intellect, and deeds. So somehow that pride should be there in our spirit. It should be reflected through our intellect. It should be reflected through our deeds, as well as to develop knowledge, skills, values, and dispositions that support responsible commitment to human rights. Definitely, our commitment is required so far as human rights is concerned. Our commitment is required so far as sustainable development and living is concerned. Our commitment is required so far as global well-being is concerned. thereby reflecting a truly global citizen. And if you see the ancient education system, so all those things were there. I mean, commitment to human rights, commitment to sustainable development and living, commitment to global well-being, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and a truly global citizen, because our basic faith, you see, was Vidya Dadati Vinyam. Somehow, education is that which gives us politeness, which makes us humble, which makes us responsible, which makes us a committed human being. So, I'm starting my session with this vision of NEP 2020. Since, my friends, you all are teachers, it's only a matter of chance that someone of you teaches library science, someone of you teaches geography, someone of you teaches physics, and I'm teaching something else, but we all are teachers. And in fact, this NEP 2020, whatever has been said in this NEP 2020, it can't be fulfilled unless and until we will commit ourselves. तो बिना हमारे कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता है. इस वजह से मैं पहले इस NEP 2020 के विजन को, इसकी मोटी मोटी बातों को मैं आपके सामने रखता हूं, and then I will correlate this NEP 2020 with our Indian knowledge system, that is IKS. So if you see, there are total 12 slides in my presentation, out of which 10 are effective. So I'm sure it is 4:15. So I'll be needing 1 hour almost. So by 5:10 or 5:15, I will finish my lecture, and then definitely the remaining time we will utilize in the discussions or interactions, or if you have any question, you can ask. Now, coming to the second slide of my presentation, this talks about basis of NEP. यानी जो NEP 2020 का बनी है, तो उसके आधार क्या है, वो किन आधार पर, किस धरातल पर खड़ी हुई है, what are the bases. So again, I would like to request any one of you to please read those 6 factors, those 6 bases. Any one of you, please read it. My friends?
Ellen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, please read it.
Acting with STC4,
Yeah.
teacher at the center of fundamental
Reforms.
Yes. Revamping of all structures of education system,
Right.
making based education system of the world by 2040.
Right.
Catering to the needs of one of the largest economy of the world,
Right.
based on rich cultural heritage of India.
That's it. That's it. So, thank you, ma'am. Who are you, ma'am?
I am Dr. Kobita Devi Kusre from Nonoi College, Nagaon, Assam.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So you see, these are the 6 bases on which basically this NEP 2020 has been evolved, or has been framed, or has been drafted. So let me take one by one, as in the same order in which ma'am has presented. So first one, matching with SDG 4. So you all are teachers, my friends. So can you tell me what is this SDG? SDG क्या है?
Sustainable Development Goals.
Right. So will you elaborate? What are these? Any one of you can elaborate? What are these SDGs? Okay. So this has been framed by United Nations, in fact, and it deals with how we can live in a sustainable way, how sustainable energy, you see, sustainable living, I mean, sustainable style. So, for that, in fact, United Nations has set these sustainable development goals. So there are so many goals. And out of all those goals, goal number 4 is related with the education. So it deals with the elementary education, primary education, secondary education, higher education. But you see, you can't make sustainability, you can't ensure sustainability, of course, without education. So this is the first thing that our NEP 2020 basically matches with those goals which have been mentioned in SDG, particularly SDG 4 by the United Nations. Then come to the second base. That is teacher at the center of fundamental reforms. So this National Education Policy 2020 talks about a lot of reforms. And if you see all the reforms, whether it is a structure change, whether it is the experiential learning, whether it is the improvement in assessment. I mean, any aspect, if you see any change in the structure of education system, so definitely is not possible without the willing cooperation of the teachers. So one of the unique features of this NEP 2020 is that it puts the teacher at the center of the fundamental reform. So whatever the reforms will take place, definitely teacher will be at the center of that. And if you see our old culture and ancient culture, so I mean, Guru Govind do khade kake lago paye, Balihari Guru apne Govind diyo bataya. Somehow we have put lot of emphasis on teachers. I mean, even teacher is greater than the God, as was our belief. It is part of our culture. So we have got a lot of respect in the society because we were committed, we were learned, and we were somehow fulfilling the need of the society. So without teachers, nothing can be done. And this is the second important base for this NEP 2020, that it puts teacher at the center of the all reforms. Finally, NEP 2020 talks about revamping the structures of education system. So earlier it was 10 plus 2 plus 3. Now NEP is talking about 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Earlier, you see, this pre-primary education was not a part of our education system, but somehow it has made it Anganwadis, Balwadis a part of the system. So it is talking about revamping of all the structure of education system. Then you see making best education system of the world by 2040. Of course, it's a big target. It's a huge target, and already we have so many good things in our education system. But still, a lot is required to achieve, so far as ranking of the universities are concerned, so far as our contribution in the research and innovation is concerned. So यहाँ पर अभी हम पीछे हैं. It is one of the largest education system of the world. There is no doubt about it. But still, अगर हम क्वालिटी की बात करें तो somewhere अभी हमें और जरूरत है जो उसकी क्वालिटी को improve करने की. So we can't make our education system best by 2040 unless and until we will ensure quality. So in NEP 2020, the fourth base of NEP 2020 basically is this, that we want to make best education system of the world. Then you see number 5, catering to the needs of one of the largest economy of the world. So at this juncture of time, we are at number 5. So recently we have held a G20 summit, and if everything goes well, so very soon we will cross the other economies and we will be coming to number 3, or very soon we will be a $10 trillion economy. That will be a huge achievement. So somehow, if you see the history, so always education and economy have been related with each other. It has always been there. But in this era, in fact, it is said that if you want to create a knowledge society, if you want to create a knowledge economy, so somehow knowledge is converted into money. And money is required to convey the knowledge. I mean, these two have reciprocal relationship. So somehow we have to keep in mind that our economy is one of the largest. And this NEP talks so many things. For example, multidisciplinary education, multiple entry and exit, then academic bank of credit, transfer of credit, and so many other things, So somehow all those things have been kept in mind, taking into account that we are going to be one of the largest economy of the world. So this was the 5th base of our NEP. Finally, the last one, that is based on rich cultural heritage of India. So one of the oldest country of the world, one of the oldest culture of the world, one of the oldest society of the world, and so many things we have given to the world. So we have a very rich cultural heritage. So somehow this NEP 2020 talks about that rich cultural heritage as well. So I think, in my opinion, these are the 6 bases on which this NEP 2020 has been focused. And why I am mentioning these 6 bases? Because somehow, if you see our Indian knowledge system, that is IKS, so you will find everything in that. In our old system, so you see, teacher was very important. Teacher was given the most importance. Even the ashrams and gurukulas, and up to certain extent, the universities at that time were known by the teachers. कि इस particular ashram में ये फला गुरु का आश्रम है, या ये फला गुरु का जो है गुरुकुल है, या फला गुरु का गुरुकुल है, something like that. So what will be taught, how it will be taught, when it will be taught. So everything was decided by the teacher. Teachers had a lot of liberty at that system. So in fact, somehow these bases of NEP 2020 match with, of course, our IKS, जिसमें पहला मैंने आपको example दिया कि teacher at the center of fundamental reforms. Then another thing that is very important, if you see in our time, our system, there was no watertight compartmentalization of knowledge, that this knowledge is of physics, this knowledge is of Sanskrit, this knowledge is of music, and this knowledge is of surgery. No, I mean, holistic knowledge was there. So the same teacher who taught music, they taught surgery as well. All those teachers who taught Vyakarna, that is grammar, or Upanishad, or Quran, they were very much effective in teaching archery and, animal husbandry as well. So there was no watertight compartmentalization in our old system. So the moment this NEP 2020 talks about revamping of all the structures, in fact, it means somehow making the old system, that is in which compartmentalization is not there, and of course knowledge is given holistically. And then what to talk of this time, even I mean in Vedic period and earlier period, and even in medieval period as well, Indian education system was one of the best system of the world. Definitely, there is no doubt about it. So we were known in the world because of our good education system. So at this juncture of time, I would like to quote one example, and that's very interesting. And then definitely we'll proceed to the other points. So you see, I was going through one of the book of economics, in fact, and economics is not my favorite subject because so many things I don't understand. But that book was written by a very learned professor of Harvard University. And someone pointed out some very important thing in that book. And that's why I went through that book. That was a very good book. So in that book, it is mentioned that in 1750, सन 1750 में, इंडिया का जो जीडीपी जो कंट्रीब्यूशन था वर्ल्ड के जीडीपी में, वो तकरीबन 1/4 था. So that is, India was contributing almost 25% of the world GDP. So which is of nowadays of USA's, almost USA contributes 23.4% of the world GDP. So almost, I mean, more than that, our contribution was there. In 1750, that is almost 270 years, 73 years back from this time. So how we have contributed in the world GDP, because our metallurgy was very good. We made very good jewelry. We made very good weapons. I mean, it might be sword, or it might be anything else, So through that, we contributed to the world GDP. So this, in fact, analysis of that professor shows that it is not possible unless and until, we had a sound education system. So there is one Woods Steel, WOOTZ, Woods Steel. So somehow it is thought that Woods Steel is contributed to the world by Indians, of course. And similarly, so many things. Even in mathematics, if you see, zero was discovered by Indians. So decimal system, in fact, was known by Indians. And further, if you see, Sushruta, which is supposed to be father of the surgery. So he used to do surgery at that time. Even I have gone through the books that he used to, in fact, give the anesthesia as well, but not the anesthesia of today's time. I mean, some other anesthesia at that time was given, so that at the time of surgery, the patient might feel less and less pain. And how to do the surgery? So Sushruta basically was motivated by the beak of the birds. जो चिड़ियों की जो चोंच होती है, जैसे गिद्ध की चोंच होती है, अलग तरह की होती है, कौवे की अलग तरह की होती है, पिजन की अलग तरह की होती है, इस तरीके से. तो वहां से उनको मोटिवेशन मिला था और उन्होंने वो चिड़ियों की चोंच देख करके उसी तरह के हथियार, उसी तरह के औजार जो है बनाए थे, so that he might do the surgery effectively, and he used anesthesia. So all these things, and besides that, you see, Vyakarna, I mean, our contribution is lot in you see, grammar. And if you talk about master epic, Meghduta and Abhigyan Shakuntalam, that was written by Kalidasa. So all these things, and so many contribution of us in the music, even Indian classic music is known worldwide. So if you talk about classical music, you can't complete the list without Indian classic music. So definitely, our system, education system, was one of the best in the ancient time, and that's why this NEP, want to revive that tradition, and it wants to make it one of the best education system of the world even today. Then you see, somehow, just I mentioned that education and economy is related with each other, and how education and economy are related with each other. In the coming slide, I will elaborate it more with some more examples, then you'll be able to know. But somehow, one thing is clear, that somehow, a good education system contributes to the better economy, or vice versa. If you have a better economy, you'll be able to create a good education system. So these two are related with each other. So somehow, old traditions, in fact, this NEP 2020 wants to revive. And finally, cultural heritage, of course. This NEP talks much about the cultural heritage. So we have so many indigenous culture. We have such a vast literature. And the moment I'm talking about literature, so literature of not one particular language. I mean, we have very rich Bengali culture and literature. We have very rich Kannada and Malayalam and Tamil literature. We have Persian literature. We have Urdu literature. We have Arabic literature. And similarly, Kashmiri and Punjabi. I mean, some huge cultural heritage we have, in fact. So somehow, in fact, this NEP 2020 talks about all those things, and somehow all these things are related with the Indian knowledge system. Now, coming to some more important aspects of NEP 2020. So I think 3 slides are there. So let me cover these 3 slides hurriedly, and then we will come to the Indian knowledge system. So again, I would like to request any one of you to please go through the slides. Please read the slides. Any one of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student.
Right.
Flexibility.
Right.
No hard separation between arts and science and between curricular and extracurricular activities.
Right.
Multidisciplinary and holistic education.
Right. Continue, sir. Continue.
Yes, sir. Yeah, emphasis on conceptual understanding,
right,
developing ethical, human, and constitutional values,
right,
promoting multilingual and power of language,
right,
inculcating life skills,
right.
Focus on regular formative assessment.
Yes, continue, sir.
Yes, sir. A respect for diversity and local context,
right,
full equity and inclusion, seamless continuum of education from one level to other.
Thank you, my friends. Who are you, sir?
I am Sanjay Kumar, Assistant Professor of Chemistry in JP University.
Okay, Sanjay ji. Thank you, my friend. So, I mean, there are so many features of National Education Policy 2020, but again and again, I'm saying I have selected only those which have some relevance for us related to Indian knowledge system. So, the first point, recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student. So, if you see the older education system, our older education system, so there was a scheme like 12 years of study, you will get some degree like a Snatak. Then 24 years of study, then you will get another degree. 36 years of education, then another degree. And of course, similarly, 48 years of education, then another degree. And level was different. So first, some common things were taught to every student. For example, Vedas and Upanishad and Vedangas, and so many philosophies like Nyaya, Sankhya, Vaisheshika. You see, then Upanishad and Puran, and Panchatantra. I mean, all those things. These things were common at that time. But simultaneously, there was some specialization as well, keeping in view the unique potential of the child. I mean, someone is good in animal husbandry, so he was recommended to go over there. Someone was good in, Nyaya and Vaisheshika or Sankhya philosophy, so he was recommended to go over there. And someone else was, somehow better in some other aspects, so he was recommended to go over there. And if someone is not interested in education, further in continuing the education, so after a Snatak degree, I mean, he was relieved that, okay, now you might leave this ashram and you might go to the society and you might serve. I mean, you might be a king's son or you might be an ordinary person, but your education is completed. Now go and serve in the society. So somehow this point that unique capabilities of every individual, we should recognize. I mean, identifying this unique capability is definitely not an easy task. It's quite difficult. But the moment we are recognizing, the moment we are identifying, so we should foster it, because otherwise all the potentialities definitely will be wasted. So this is the point which has been somehow taken from our ancient root, because our teachers at that time used to do this. Now come to flexibility. This NEP 2020 talks about much flexibility. I mean, even if some student of surgery wants to learn music, or some student of history wants to learn engineering, or some student of metallurgy wants to learn Arabic or Urdu or Persian. I mean, he can, because there is no watertight compartmentalization. Basically, that this is science stream, this is arts stream, this is commerce stream. And if you are in science stream, you can't go to arts stream, or you are in arts stream, then you can't go to science stream. Not like that. Quite flexibility is there. Flexibility at 2 points. Number one, choosing in subject. This NEP talks about a lot of flexibility. Any subject that you want, any subject that you need, any subject in which you are interested, you can go for it. This is the first level of flexibility. Second level of flexibility, the moment you have chosen the subject, then how you are progressing. I mean, you are doing it in just 2 months, you are doing it in 4 months, you are doing in 8 months. I mean, credit system is there. And for to clear every course, some minimum number of credits are required to be cleared. So if you are clearing it in early, I mean in 2 months, 3 months, okay, you can go ahead. And if you are taking more time, no problem, you can take 7 months or 8 months or 9 months, and then you can come to the next stage. So a lot of flexibility is there. And if you see, this flexibility also has been derived from our ancient education system, because in ancient education system, such type of flexibility is definitely not there. Now, point number C, that is just now I mentioned that today we have narrow specialization. So what is narrow specialization? So in our time, so see, I'm MSc in physics. So my teachers, I mean, those teachers were quite comfortable. The teacher used to teach me solid state physics, quantum physics, classical mechanics, and electricity and magnetism, optics. I mean, so many branches. But you see, nowadays you find that if there is some teacher who has a specialization in optics, so he says that I'm not comfortable in teaching nuclear physics. Someone has a specialization in nuclear physics, so he or she will say that I'm not comfortable in mechanics or something like that. So this quite, I mean, narrow specialization after specialization. So there is one thing that I would like to present before you people, because all of you are teachers. There are 2 types of personality: I-type personality and T-type personality. So what I have said just now, my friends, मैंने अभी क्या कहा है, कितनी तरह की पर्सनालिटी है?
आई टाइप की पर्सनालिटी और
2 तरह की
जी, आई टाइप की और टी टाइप। हाँ, तो आप क्या कुछ गेस कर सकते हैं आई टाइप क्या है और टी टाइप क्या है? ये दोनों आई और टी टाइप जो है लेटर्स इंग्लिश अल्फाबेट के हैं। एनी गेस फ्रॉम यू?
इंट्रोवर्ट और एक्सट्रोवर्ट रिलेटेड होगा।
अच्छा, और कुछ? और कोई?
Intellectual and talented.
पढ़न मैम फिर से बोलिए, मैम फिर से बोलिए।
I is intellectual, T is talented.
Okay, okay. Anything else? Okay, okay. I'm explaining. No problem. See, you have taken some particular subject for study. For example, political science. अब उस पॉलिटिकल साइंस में आपने पर्टिकुलरली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बहुत बारीकी से पढ़ा, तो आपने इन डेप्थ उस पर जो है वो स्टडी किया और आपने अपनी मास्टरी जो है डेवलप कर ली वन पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट में, दैट इज इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, दैट कम्स अंडर द कैटेगरी पॉलिटिकल साइंस। अब आपने और बाकी चीजों को नहीं पढ़ा, फॉर एग्जांपल सोशियोलॉजी को नहीं पढ़ा, फॉर एग्जांपल इंग्लिश लिटरेचर को नहीं पढ़ा, या साइंस के सब्जेक्ट्स नहीं पढ़े, या आर्ट्स, फाइन आर्ट्स जिसको हम कहते हैं उसको नहीं पढ़ा, तो दैट पर्सनालिटी इज आई टाइप पर्सनालिटी। आई में देखिए गहराई होती है। गहराई मींस व्हाट? दैट यू हैव चोजन वन सब्जेक्ट ऑफ स्टडी and you have put all of your energies in knowing that तो आपने डेप्थ अपने अंदर पैदा किया, गहराई पैदा की, बहुत मास्टरी पैदा की ऑन वन पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट ओनली. सो दिस इज आई टाइप पर्सनैलिटी. कंट्रेरी टू इट, इंग्लिश का जो लेटर टी होता है, आप देखिए, तो टी में आई भी होता है और उसके ऊपर भी एक लाइन होती है. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट माय फ्रेंड्स, व्हाट आई वांट टू से, माय फ्रेंड्स?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
दोनों में फर्क समझिए. यस, दोनों में फर्क समझिए. टी में, इंग्लिश अल्फाबेट टी में आई है, लेकिन आई में टी नहीं है. हैव यू गॉट माय पॉइंट माय फ्रेंड्स?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
तो मतलब समझे जरा इसका.
Yes, sir.
यस, देखिए, कोई एक पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट आपने चूज किया एंड यू हैव डेवलप्ड मास्टरी ऑफ दैट. मुझे लगता है कि कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली एक ही सब्जेक्ट चूज किया है एंड ऑल ऑफ योर एनर्जीज यू हैव पुट इन दैट. लेकिन थोड़ा थोड़ा हर सब्जेक्ट के बारे में जानना, थोड़ा सा मैथमेटिक्स के बारे में भी जानना, थोड़ा सा म्यूजिक के भी बारे में जानना, थोड़ा सा कुछ और जानना और अपना सब्जेक्ट भी जानना, तो आई थिंक दैट इज मोर कमर्शियल. बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द प्रोस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ जॉब, तो आई टाइप पर्सनैलिटी जो होती है, तो उसमें जॉब की प्रोबेबिलिटीज जो है वो कम हो जाती है. Why? Because you have mastery in one particular subject, one particular area. But if you talk about T-type personality, तो इसमें जॉब की प्रोबेबिलिटी जो है थोड़ी सी बढ़ जाती है, because a little bit of so many things you know, so it might be possible that wherever you are getting the opportunity, you will go and you will serve. तो ये जो कंपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन है नॉलेज का, हम स्ट्रीम वाइज, सब्जेक्ट वाइज करते हैं, that is for the sake of I type, creating I type personality. लेकिन जब हम होलिस्टिक एजुकेशन की बात करते हैं, तो we talk about T type of personality. And nowadays in this era in which we are living, only having mastery on one particular subject will not be enough for the livelihood, for the employment. You have to have so many qualities and so many skills among you. For example, soft skills, life skills, ICT skills. I mean, there's so many skills which are required in the students if they want to get the job. So you see, this is the third point somehow, which again has been derived from our ancient education system. हमारे यहाँ पर जो था सिस्टम, वही टी टाइप पर्सनालिटी का था, और नॉलेज का जो है वो कंपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन नहीं था. Another thing that is very important, a separation between curricular and extracurricular activities. So what is that? Can you explain me? What is that? Separation between curricular and extracurricular activities, my friends? My friends?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, क्या मतलब है इसका, separation between curricular and extracurricular activities?
करिकुलर मतलब ये हो गया कि सब्जेक्ट रिलेटेड ही जितने भी चीजें हैं, और एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर में मतलब खेल कूद आ गया, या फिर कुछ आर्ट्स एंड क्राफ्ट्स हो गया जो बच्चों को सिखाते हैं, या फिर कुछ एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटी करके बच्चों को कुछ नॉलेज दे रहे हैं ये सब.
ओके, थैंक यू माय फ्रेंड. अच्छा, एक चीज आप लोगों ने सुनी कि बुक स्मार्ट और स्ट्रीट स्मार्ट, ये सुना था ना?
नहीं सर.
किसी ने सुना है जी? वो कहते हैं ना कि फला जो है वो किताबी कीड़ा है, या कहते हैं कि वो फला यार बड़ा स्मार्ट है. ये तो बात सुनी होगी.
जी सर. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what does it mean? See.
I think book smart means a person who has only bookish knowledge.
That's it.
A person who has a practical knowledge of that, who could correlate the study bookish knowledge with the real life.
That's it. Very good. Who are you, ma'am?
I'm Dr. Neeta Pandey from Saket PG College, Ayodhya.
Okay. Pandey ma'am, आप क्या पढ़ाती हैं?
मैं English पढ़ाती हूँ sir.
Okay, very good. So see, I mean, there is a controversy between these two, book smart and street smart. So I know something. I mean, I have passed the examination. I have got the first division. I have got the 99 percentile. I mean, everything. But so far as implementing that particular knowledge in real life, as just ma'am mentioned, is concerned, I'm zero. So I have only bookish knowledge, but I don't know how to apply that bookish knowledge in real life. So I am book smart. But there's one person, who correlates the theoretical knowledge to the practical life. So that particular person is state smart. तो स्टेट स्मार्ट हम तभी लोगों को पैदा कर पाएंगे या बना पाएंगे जब तक हम एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर या जिसको हम आजकल कहते हैं को करिकुलर उस पर फोकस नहीं करेंगे तो हम नहीं बना पाएंगे. ओनली थ्रू बुकिश नॉलेज वी कांट मेक स्मार्ट पीपल. आई मीन टुडे गेटिंग द एम्प्लॉयमेंट only bookish knowledge does not matter. I mean, so many other things you have to have. So there's the third point, which again has been derived, from our ancient education system. Now, coming to the point number D, that is multidisciplinary and holistic education. I think through various examples, I have explained this concept that a holistic education is that which is not divided in spiritual subjects and moral subjects and you see science subjects and art subjects and commerce subjects. Or a holistic education is not that education which caters to the need of only mental development. A holistic education caters to the need of spiritual development, moral development, you see linguistic development, or you can say recreational development. So we have so many aspects of our development. A holistic education caters to the need of that. So at this juncture of time, I would like to mention just one definition that was given by our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. So it's very well-known definition. He said, by education, I mean an all-round development of child and man, dash, body, mind, and soul. Let me repeat. By education, I mean an all-round development of a child and a man, dash, body, mind, and soul. So he talked about three things. Body, that is our proper physical development. Mind, of course, mental development. And soul, that is spiritual development. So nowadays, it is so unfortunate that through education, we cater to the need of only one development, that is mental development. We are neglecting physical development. We are neglecting spiritual development. I think both are equally important as a mental development. So a holistic education is there, which caters to the need of that. And multidisciplinary education is there, which brings a correlation among all the subjects. I mean, it might be economics, it might be fine arts, it might be Sanskrit, it might be zoology, it might be physics. I mean, a good education system, multidisciplinary education system brings a correlation in all that. So if you see, this point has also been derived from our ancient education system. Continuing the discussion, I would like to come to the next slide. And then this point number E, emphasis on conceptual understanding. So what is that? What is conceptual understanding? I would like to know from you people. My friends, please speak. Conceptual understanding क्या है? My friends.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. बोलिए.
Okay.
बोलिए sir.
So the conceptual understanding means that the key terms or the concepts that are being used in order to understand the theoretical relationship, what it is, what its pure knowledge is, having an understanding of that with respect to the environment in which it is operating.
All right. Right, sir. Who are you, sir?
Sir, I am Dr. Nayyar Rahman from Department of Commerce, Aligarh Muslim University.
Oh, Nayyar sir. Okay, very good, Nayyar sir. चलिए, बहुत अच्छा. Anybody else? Will you supplement anything to Nayyar sir? Pandey ma'am, Akshay Kumar sir. There's so many good people in this group. बोलिए आप लोग. जी सर बोलिए. My friends. Any other opinion? Okay. All of you are silent. So, conceptual understanding as just, Nayyar Sahab said that somehow knowing what is about to be said, what has been said, what are in between the lines. I mean, just cramming the things and reproducing it in the examination book. So that is not conceptual understanding. I mean, you might cram anything, you might remember anything and reproduce it. So you might pass the exam, but it might happen that you haven't understood anything. So our education system nowadays focuses much on remembering and cramming, but somehow understanding is much more important. So this point again has been, I think, derived from our ancient education system. Then you see, developing ethical, human, and constitutional values. So what are human values, by the way? Any one of you, will you please help me? What are human values, my friends?
May I, sir?
Yes, please.
Uh, I think human values means something that makes us a better human being. Not only.
That's it. That's it. Yes, 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 yes. Sure, sure, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
Okay, I would like to add that
That's it. That's it. Very good. Very, very elaborated one. You see,
I would like
there
to
are
add
five.
that
Yeah. Please continue, sir. Please
I
continue.
would like to add that human values are the moral sentiments that personify itself into the personality of human being.
Okay. So we talk about five basic human values. They are known as universal values or global values. So first one is truth, second one is peace, third one is love, fourth one is non-violence, and fifth one is righteous conduct. So definitely we have so many other human values, but these are the five master human values, and the rest of the values, in fact, have been derived from these five master human values. So somehow a good education system is that which develops among us, these human values, ethical values, constitutional values. If you see today's world, I mean, much consumerism, cutthroat competition, crimes, somehow, so many other things that you observe as a member of the society, so a certain kind of value crisis is there in society. We have reached to the threshold level. I mean, beyond that, if you will not talk about values, or beyond that, if you will not develop the values, then our soul survival will be under the question mark, in fact. So, the only hope is from the education. If education system will be good, it will develop ethical, human, and constitutional values. And then you see, promoting multilingualism. So in the beginning, I mentioned India is a diverse country. So many languages are spoken here. Even up to one poet has said about the diversity, linguistic diversity of India. One poet has said कोस कोस पर बदले पानी, 3 कोस पर बदले वानी. I mean, if you will move almost 1.5 to 2 kilometers, पानी का जो टेस्ट है वो बदल जाता है हमारे मुल्क में. और 3, I mean, that is 5 to 6 kilometers if you will move, so you will find that वानी has been changed. So language might be same, that is Hindi, लेकिन उसका बोलने का अंदाज बदल जाता है. कहीं पर ब्रज है, कहीं पर खड़ी है बोली है, कहीं पर अवधी है, कहीं पर भोजपुरी है. So हिंदी, लेकिन हिंदी के भी बहुत सारे रूप हैं. इसी तरीके से there are so many variations. So we have very rich multilingualism in our country. So utilizing that, because there is a treasure of knowledge in that rich literature, rich linguistic heritage. So somehow, I mean, promoting that, utilizing that, inculcating life skills. There are so many life skills. So coping with stress is one, knowing yourself is another, adjusting with others is another, soft skills are another, ICT skills are another. These life skills somehow are important for us, particularly to sustain our survival in the world. So again, the responsibility of inculcating life skills is through education. And I think all these, I mean, if you see the ancient education system, so everything was there. I mean, they talked much about values. I mean, they talked much about ethics, multilingualism definitely was there. And, somehow certain kind of grooming and training was there of the student by their gurus, by their teachers, so that they may adjust in the society, they may survive in the society, they may cope with the pressure, and they may adjust in the society. So now, all these points again have been derived from our ancient education system. So finally, focus on regular formative assessment. And you see, assessment is that something which has been very controversial, which has been much talked of, which has been much discussed, in fact. So at this juncture of time, I would like to know your opinion about formative assessment. What is a formative assessment? And and then definitely I will supplement and then I will proceed to the further slides. तो क्या है फॉर्मेटिव असेसमेंट, आप लोग की क्या राय है? My friends.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
सर फॉर्मेटिव असेसमेंट मीन्स टाइम टू टाइम जो हम स्टूडेंट को असेस करते हैं, मंथली टेस्ट, यूनिट टेस्ट, हाफरली, क्वार्टरली जो टेस्ट होता है, टाइम टू टाइम कोई प्रोजेक्ट असाइनमेंट दिया और सर उसको टाइम टू टाइम उसको हमने असिस्ट कर लिया.
ओके ओके, हु आर यू मैम?
सर डॉक्टर शालिनी, गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज मेरठ.
व्हाट डू यू टीच मैम, शालिनी मैम?
सॉरी सर,
क्या पढ़ाती हैं आप?
सर शालिनी सिंह फ्रॉम बीएड.
ओके ओके, ओ यू आर फ्रॉम माय डिपार्टमेंट. ओके, थैंक यू शालिनी. ओके, कोई और सप्लीमेंट करेगा शालिनी मैम को? Anybody else will supplement Shalini ma'am regarding formative assessment? Nayyar sahab?
Sir, I think I will agree to it, but I would like to add
definitely.
that it also includes the continuous assessment in terms of the behavior and discipline of the students.
Okay. So see, by and large, I mean, there are two types of assessment. I mean, there are so many types of assessment, but at this juncture of time, I'm just mentioning two types of assessment. One assessment is that which is conducted once or twice in an academic year, and on the basis of that, you take a decision whether the student should be promoted to the next semester, to the next academic year or not. This is known as summative assessment. यानी जिसके आधार पर आप ये डिसीजन लेते हो कि बच्चे को प्रमोट किया जाए या रोक दिया जाए. वो साल में एक बार होता है या ज्यादा 2 बार. लेकिन एक दूसरा असेसमेंट होता है जो रिपीटेडली लिया जाता है, बार बार लिया जाता है, एंड इट्स पर्पस इज जस्ट टू नो what are the problems of the child. Because if someone is scoring only 4 marks out of 10, there might be some problem with him. I mean, he or she might be well in other subjects, but why he or she is poor, particularly giving the poor performance in my particular subject. So this is known as formative assessment. It is conducted repeatedly, regularly, and its purpose is to know the weaknesses of the students so that we may provide सभी पूरा अयोध्या, so many अप टू मेडिवल लेवल। अगर आप देखिए मेडिवल लेवल के जो मेडिवल एज के जो शहर है, फॉर एग्जांपल लखनऊ है, जौनपुर है और इस तरह के बहुत सारे, तो सबसे पहले वो पानी का स्रोत देखते थे और नदी के किनारे शहर को बसाते थे, पानी का इंतजाम करते थे, पानी को इकट्ठा करते थे, पानी को वेस्ट नहीं करते थे। I mean all those things. Not only that, I mean they had so much knowledge related to medicine as well. तो उस टाइम में तो केमिकल वो जानते नहीं थे, जाहिर सी बात है कि जो हर्ब वगैरह अवेलेबल थे इजली, तो जख्म को सुखाने के लिए कोई दूसरा हर्ब इस्तेमाल करते थे, कहीं पर चोट लग गई, जल गए तो उसके लिए दूसरा हर्ब इस्तेमाल करते थे, कोई बुखार वगैरह कोई दूसरी बीमारी हो गई तो उसके लिए दूसरा हर्ब। I mean somehow I mean they had lot of knowledge so far as medical field is concerned, so far as weapons making is concerned, so far as preserving the environment is concerned, so far as conserving the water and all those things, वो डैम जैसा बनाना, वेल और झरने और कुएं और ये जो सारी चीजें थी उसको प्रिजर्व करना, तो वो सब उनको करते थे। एट दैट टाइम दे डिडंट हैव मशीनरी, या जो आज की टेक्नोलॉजी है वो उस टाइम में उनके पास वो टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं थी, बट सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ नॉलेज वाज देयर बिकॉज दे यूज्ड टू डू ऑल दिस थिंग्स। तो उसमें से काफी कुछ ऐसा है जो हमारे लिए आज भी रेलिवेंट है, देयर इज नो डाउट अबाउट इट। सो व्हाई वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट IKS, why we are talking about Indian knowledge system? Just to know what was there in our Indian knowledge system, what was the contribution of our ancestors, and what the knowledge our ancestors in fact discovered, and first know, and then we should preserve it, and we should preserve it, not only preserve it, but we should transmit it to the other generation. तो तीनों एक दूसरे जुड़े हुए हैं। अगर हम जानेंगे नहीं तो हम प्रिजर्व नहीं कर पाएंगे, अगर हम प्रिजर्व नहीं कर पाएंगे तो हम अगली जनरेशन तक जो है वो ट्रांसफर नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो दैट्स व्हाई टॉकिंग अबाउट IKS इज इंपॉर्टेंट, सो दैट that ancestral knowledge which was there with our ancestors, that might be preserved and that might be transmitted from one generation to other generation. Now come to the third, creating a knowledge society. So what is a knowledge society, my friends? आप में से कोई बताइए क्या है knowledge society, my friends?
So knowledge society means intellectual people.
Intellectual people. और बताइए, anybody else?
Learned people who can read and write.
कोई और सप्लीमेंट करे मैम को?
I think
society.
Yeah.
People who can read and write.
जी?
People who can read and write.
People who can read and write. और कुछ?
Sir, I think aware and well-read society.
Right.
Society.
Right. See.
Namaskar, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, continue, please.
Yes, people who can know the value of living and non-living things and how to use it for the benefit of the society are the knowledgeable people, I think.
Okay. Now see, nowadays
Sir.
what's happening? Yeah.
सर आई थिंक नॉलेज सोसाइटी मीन्स कि जो नॉलेज है हमारे अंदर उसको हम स्प्रेड करें सोसाइटी में।
Okay.
तो जो मुझे पता है वो मेरे तक सीमित नहीं रहे, वो मैं और सोसाइटी को भी उसको अपने जो भी विचार हैं या जो अच्छे आइडियाज हैं या दूसरों के आइडियाज हैं वो हम एक सोसाइटी में डेवलप करें।
ओके।
बुद्धिजीवी समाज का निर्माण करना।
समाज का। ओके। और कोई?
हेलो सर,
like to add?
सर मुझे लगता है सर जैसे हम लोग सोसाइटी में रहते हैं उसी प्रकार से नॉलेज को एक जगह, सारे नॉलेज को एक जगह इकट्ठा करके हमारे सोसाइटी में लोगों के बीच में स्प्रेड करना चाहिए ताकि हम अपनी पुरानी शिक्षा को, प्राचीन शिक्षा को जो है प्रिजर्व कर सकें।
Okay, so I would like to add that knowledge society means that whatever is the existing body of knowledge, that should be materialized and that should be reflected in the outcomes such as innovation, growth, and development.
That's it. Very good. Thank you, my friend. So see, I mean nowadays you see knowledge is being converted into economy. if you talk about the Japanese people, if you talk about Korean people, I mean, all these people are skilled, they have the knowledge, and somehow they convert their knowledge into economy. यानी दोनों का संबंध एक दूसरे से है. If you will be knowledgeable person, if you will have the degrees, if you will have the certificates, so somehow, I mean, if you have the invention capacity, innovative way of thinking, out of box thinking, so somehow you will create something new and that will be converted into economy. तो नॉलेज सोसाइटी वो सोसाइटी है जिस सोसाइटी में ऐसे कैपेबल लोग होते हैं जो नॉलेज को इकोनॉमी में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. तो आज के दौर में कहा जा रहा है कि ये जो वीपन पावर है, मसल पावर है, military power hai, all those things will be replaced by knowledge, by the power of knowledge. So in the days to come, those people will rule over the world who will have the knowledge. तो उसके लिए हम अभी से अपनी सोसाइटी को एक नॉलेज सोसाइटी जो वो बनाए. तो I think we can predict that कि we are studying our Indian knowledge system rigorously, and all those things which are relevant for today, we should adopt it. So by that way, we can create a knowledge society. That's why talking about IKS is important. Finally, ensuring a holistic and multidisciplinary education. I think I have talked a lot about this point, so I'm skipping and I'm coming to the fifth point, that is promoting inclusive learning by recognizing and validating the diverse knowledge systems. So what does it mean? Anybody will clarify it? आप में से कोई clarify करेंगे इसको? My friends? See, I mean, there might be so many knowledge systems. So something you have got from Vedas, something you have got from Upanishad, something you have got from Darwin's theory, something you have got from a book written by Amartya Sen. I mean, so many knowledge systems might be there, and they all are valid and relevant depending on कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं और कैसे कर रहे हैं. तो इंक्लूसिव लर्निंग का मतलब ये होता है कि बहुत सारे जरियों से सीखना, या इस बात पे इत्मीनान रखना कि देयर आर डाइवर्स वेज ऑफ learning anything. I mean, it's not just only this particular book, or it's not only this particular author, or it's not only this particular website. I mean, there might be diverse ways of getting the education. So these are the points why, in fact, the IKS is relevant, why we should talk about it, IKS. Now, coming to the next role, the next slide, that's the role of IKS. Indian knowledge system का क्या रोल है आज के दौर में, तो इसके हवाले से just I have taken 4 points, and again I would like to request any one of my friend to please read these 4 points. पढ़िए आप में से कोई?
Yes, sir. Should I start, sir?
Yeah. Yes, please, please.
In providing a sense of identity to the members of the society. Second is in shaping the culture of the society. Third one, in utilizing received wisdom to march on the highway of invention. I'm sorry, I missed that. Just a minute. So, I'm sorry, I have missed it.
Okay. In utilizing received wisdom to march on the highway of innovation and a new knowledge creation. And finally, the last point, ma'am.
In transmitting knowledge into economic value.
Transforming knowledge into economic value. So these are the 4 important roles that Indian knowledge system can play today. So first, I mean, despite of all the differences and diversities of caste, color, creed, religion, place of living, language that we speak, there's one thing that we all are Indians. And the moment we will go through this Indian knowledge system, the literature, I mean, all those things, so you will have a sense of identity. That's one of the most important contribution, because Japanese people, they talk with pride about their system. Chinese, they talk with pride about their system. Similarly, Americans, so somehow we are Indians and we should feel pride. And it will be only when we will have certain kind of identity. I mean, despite of all the diversities, we are Indians. So this sense of identity might be provided to us, to the people of Indian society, through IKS. This is the one of the most important roles of IKS. And definitely, every society has some unique culture, and this culture might be shaped through Indian knowledge system. Sada Jivan Uch Vichar. This is one of our thinking, simple living and high thinking. तो एक हमारे जो है वो हमारी जो सोच थी कि साईं इतना दीजिए जामे कुटुंब समाए, मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं साधु भी भूखा ना जाए. So these type of ethos which were there in our culture. तो एक ये जो विचार होते हैं, ये विचारधाराएं जो होती हैं, ये जो सोच होती है, तो ये कल्चर का निर्माण करती है. इनफैक्ट तो IKS has the potential to do that, to shape a unique culture of a society. Then finally, somehow those things which were mentioned, which are there in Indian knowledge system, I mean, in the coming lectures you will be able to know the vast contribution of Indian knowledge system. तो वो कैसे, उससे जो wisdom जो हासिल हुई, उससे जो बुद्धिमत्ता हमको हासिल हुई, तो हम उसको कैसे यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं for further innovation, for further knowledge creation. That is how the old knowledge, how the old wisdom might be utilized further to create something new, or a new knowledge creation. So this might be the third role of IKS. Finally, in transforming knowledge into economic value, I think last slide I have mentioned, so I'm not going to mention it. So somehow fourth role of IKS will be in transferring the knowledge into economic value. Now come to this slide, and that is advantages of IKS. क्या इसके फायदे हैं, क्या इसकी अफादियत है, क्या इसका महत्व है Indian knowledge system का. So again, I have brought 5 points, and I would like to request any one of you to please read these 5 points. पढ़िए.
Yes, sir. So
पढ़िए. जी पढ़िए.
Advantages of IKS in providing enriched learning experiences to the students, in promoting cultural understanding, in bridging the gap between the traditional wisdom and the modern knowledge, in inculcating the problem-solving ability among the students, in bringing knowledge exchanges with other civilizations. Thank you, sir.
That's it. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, who are you?
I'm Dr. Pushpanjali Arya from Sridev Suman University, Rishikesh, Uttarakhand.
Okay. What do you teach, ma'am?
Economics.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, I mean, there might be so many advantages, but for the sake of clarity in my presentation, mainly I have brought these 5 points before you. So first point, very much clear. I mean, Puranas and Panchatantra and Vedangs and various philosophies like Vedanta, Sankhya, I mean Charvak, and then various ways of Ayurveda and Indian methods of pedagogy and all those things. Somehow the moment you will learn about it, it will provide you enriched learning experience. I mean, you as a teacher, and the moment you will teach it to your student, so this will provide enriched learning experience. Then it will promote definitely cultural understanding, that is today's culture and ancient culture. So what's the synthesis, what's the continuity, I mean, between the ancient culture and today's culture, something like that. So promoting cultural understanding, that will be again very important. This will be the one of the contribution of IKS. And then you see bridging the gap between traditional wisdom and modern knowledge. So somehow you can't talk about modernity unless and until you know about your past. So past, present, and future are related with each other. So we have so many healthy tradition and so many healthy traditional wisdom. How, I mean, we can bridge the gap between that traditional wisdom and today's modern knowledge. So definitely somehow IKS has the potential to bridge that gap. Then you see, I mean, we want to inculcate problem solving ability among our students, definitely. And if you see the past problems, so how those past problems were solved. Flood problem, drought problem, कहीं पर सूखा पड़ गया, भूखमरी कहीं पर हो गई, कोई प्राकृतिक आपदा जो है नेचुरल कैलेमिटी आई, तो how those people used to do, how those people used to solve those problems. तो आज भी उन चीजों का जो है वो रिलेवेंस हो सकता है. तो अगर हम उन केस स्टडीज को 1 by 1 स्टूडेंट्स के सामने रखेंगे, और उनको सोचने का मौका देंगे, तो डेफिनेटली आई एम श्योर कि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी विल बी इनकलकेटेड among them. And finally, as we talk about IKS, Indian knowledge system, similarly, other civilizations have their own system. African knowledge system, Arabian knowledge system, also very rich. You see, Iranian knowledge system, again, very rich. Mesopotamian, Chinese, Egyptian. So all these were great civilization of the world. So simultaneously, as we have Indian knowledge system, those civilizations also have their own knowledge system. So somehow, the moment we will talk about IKS, so we will get to know that what we have learned from other civilization and what we have contributed to other civilizations. For example, I mentioned mathematics. I mean, mathematicians, Arabians were also very good in mathematics, and particularly if you talk about algebra. So algebra is the contribution of Arabs. But they didn't know about zero and decimal system was given to them by Indians. Similarly, Romans know a lot of geometry, but so many aspects of geometry was given to them by our own mathematicians. So in that way, I mean, the moment you will talk about IKS, then you will be able to know how these knowledge exchanges in the ancient time happened and how this knowledge exchange can be happened in this era as well. So I think it will be one of the most important advantage of IKS. Now with this, my friends, I'm just coming to end my lecture, in fact. So very hurriedly, I mean, this is a training course on IKS. So being the program in charge, being the academic coordinator of this program, I would like to talk to you people that there are some course objectives, and I'm quite sure the moment you will complete this course, you will be able to know so many things that I have mentioned on the slide. You will be acquainted with the various sources of IKS. So for that, we have invited one very good resource person, Professor Umesh Chandra Vashisht from Lucknow University. He's retired from Lucknow University. He's a professor of education, in fact. He's a very good speaker and a very knowledgeable person. So he will be talking about sources of IKS. And then, you'll be familiarized with the legacies of IKS. But again, I have invited one of my colleague from the Department of Education, IKS University, Dr. Shahir Siddiqui Sahab. He has much knowledge of Vedas and ancient knowledge. So he will be talking about legacies of Indian knowledge system. Definitely, there is one lecture I have arranged. If you see the schedule, so you will find there is one lecture on Indian methods of pedagogy. So again, it will be done by one of my colleagues from the Department of Education, Dr. Aftab Ansari. Then we have arranged 2 sessions for vocabulary related to IKS. So we have invited 2 persons, one our colleague, Professor Sunil Kumar Singh from Banaras Hindu University, again from the Department of Education, and Dr. Patanjali Mishra from Allahabad University, again from the Department of Education. So these 2 people will talk about vocabulary of education. And definitely you will be efficient in integrating IKS in present education system. How the knowledge that you have got on IKS, how you are going to integrate in the present education system. So for that, we have invited one of our colleague, Dr. Noora. She will come and she will tell you how you are going to integrate it in your present education system. Then definitely you'll be sensitized towards various components of holistic health. So for holistic health, we have organized 2 sessions. One session from the retired head of the Department of Physical Education of Aligarh Muslim University. He will be talking about yoga. And another from Professor Rekha Pandey from Hyderabad. She will be talking about, dietary habits and, health and all those things. So you'll be able to know, you'll be sensitized towards the importance and towards the components of holistic health. And finally, I'm quite sure the moment you will finish on the 31st, then definitely I'm quite sure you will feel pride in being a part of rich Indian culture and traditions. So these are my course objectives. Keeping these objectives in view, in fact, I have designed this whole course, and I have chosen the topic, I have chosen the resource person. So finally, what you are supposed to do. So some points for you. Definitely, please join the classes in time. Maintain the decorum of the classroom. I mean, if a resource person are asking some question, you respond. If they are instructing you to keep quiet and you listen to him or her, then you please listen to him or her. So please maintain the decorum of the classroom. Third point is not relevant for you because I have been told that there is no assignment in this workshop. So skip the third point. Come to the fourth point. Definitely, you please listen to the resource person carefully and attentively. interact with the resource person when you get the chance. I mean, I have requested all the resource persons to finish in 1 hour, so that for the remaining half an hour might be utilized in interacting with you. I mean, if you have any doubt, if you have any question, you can ask. And definitely, I mean, you will be given the opportunity to clear your doubts. And if there is any problem like networking issue or connectivity issue or something like that, you are unable to speak, or your voice is not coming, or my voice is not going to you. So in that situation, there is no problem. You can give your question through chat box. Definitely, we will record that and we will try to give the satisfactory answer of that question. Even some of the questions you might mail to me as well. I will forward that mail to the resource person. So with this, my friends, I'm highly grateful to you that you have listened to me for almost 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now, I am stopping my lecture. And if you have any question, if you have any query, you please ask. I'm ready to give the answer of your queries.
Sir,
So
very nice lecture, sir. It was an informative session. We liked it. Well organized session, in fact. Very well, sir. And one thing that I would like to ask you is a very small doubt, in fact, that relevance of IKL, that is the slide you presented. In that, will you please go back to that slide, sir? Relevance of IKL, IKS. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm coming to that point. I'm coming to that.
Yes, sir. Relevance of IKS. In that, actually, you talked about the knowledge, and particularly the ancestral knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So ancestral knowledge is available in two forms: written form and oral tradition, also oral form. So how to use that ancestral knowledge which is available in oral form, and what is the validity of that knowledge? So these are the very two basic questions that I would like to raise. So if possible, next time also you can answer if you have. Yes.
No.
Yes, sir.
So okay. So my friend, in fact, as just now I have mentioned, Professor Umesh Chandra Vashist, I think he will deliver the lecture on Monday, and in that he will be talking about sources of IKS. So ये सारी चीजें उसमें फिर डिटेल में आएंगी, oral tradition, और कैसे, and what is their validity, and in fact pramanas and their validity. In fact, we have kept this one topic, and I have invited one person from the Department of Philosophy. So he will be talking about all this. So what are the, what your question was, in fact, oral and written, and the oral knowledge, what's the validity? So I'm sure through these two lectures, I'm sure your doubt will be clear. Still, if something will be left, so I will be available. There is no problem. I can do that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? संजय जी कुछ कह रहे हैं? संजय जी, संजय कुमार जी?
जी सर, नहीं कुछ कहना नहीं है सर। जैसे FIP में आप कुछ मोटिवेशनल कुछ सुनाते थे कहानी, इसमें कुछ भी नहीं सुना है सर।
बहुत सारी कहानियां हैं मेरे भाई, असल में थोड़ा सा थीम से मैच नहीं हो पा रही थी, तो मेरा एक सेशन है अभी और आगे, तो डेफिनेटली डोंट वरी, एंड आई हैव इनवाइटेड वेरी गुड रिसोर्स पर्सन, वो आपको बहुत अच्छे से सारी बातें सुनाएंगे, डोंट वरी, राइट संजय जी?
जी सर, ठीक।
जी। एनीथिंग एल्स? पुष्पांजलि मैम कुछ कह रही हैं आप?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Your session was very informative.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
it was just an introductory lecture, in fact.
Okay.
So remaining things will be done by our good resource person.
Thank you, sir, for the beautiful session.
Thank you, sir. Beautiful section.
Okay. Thank you. So,
Thank you, sir. Nice.
Knowledgeable session, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So it is 5:30 by our watch. So please go and have a cup of tea. Please have a rest of half an hour, because our next session will start by 6. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.